Hi, everybody. Change of title. It's a bit of a different scene today. I first kind of came across restaurant robots about 3 or 4 years ago, and it was the kind of first human-facing robot in public space, in semi-public space, the restaurant robot. And they kind of emerged since 2016. And they can navigate the aisles of restaurants, avoiding obstacles, and even serving us with social niceties. And we can't help asking, are these robots autonomous? We start by addressing the conception of autonomy in its technical, philosophical, and actor network theory contexts. Then we trace the phylogenesis of contemporary restaurant robots from humanoid forms to instrumental designs to the adoption of a feline inspiration in a robot called the Bellabot. From here, we report on our observations and interviews at 2 restaurants in Sydney, Nine Dragons in Chinatown in Sydney, and the Heidelau Hot Pot in Chatswood, also in Sydney. And finally, we ask whether autonomous robots are different from other non-humans. When the computer scientist Beakey used the term autonomy in 1998, it was largely speculative because few artifacts in the field qualified. But his call for autonomy helped set an agenda for robot developers to build technologies that could, he says, sense, think, and act. And his technical program embraced a powerful but contestable set of metaphors, including intelligence and autonomy. You might also, we're kind of familiar with language in the tech sector, like, calling when you connect the database together, friendship, or the cloud. So autonomy and intelligence are highly culturally loaded terms. And as Formosa, who is writing about robot autonomy, explains, the moral value of autonomy as it applies to humans is influenced by Kant's conception of self-governance. Autonomy means giving rein to one's authentic desires, independent of the influence of others. By contrast, robots are attributed autonomy for their competence in negotiating complex and changing environments. Formosa concludes that robot autonomy and human autonomy are quite different, but they are related to one another. For example, robots could enhance human autonomy by taking on tedious tasks, freeing people up for more authentic experiences. On the other hand, robots could diminish human autonomy by taking over life decisions or degrading human skills. An actor network theory approach, which is a field of science and technology studies, rejects any fixed divide between humans and machines. So it says, let's not decide in advance whether something that acts is human or non-human. And so that means you should trace how they're intertwined with one another, how the human and the non-human are all intertwined. What emerges in autonomy is neither the Kantian ideal of self-legislation nor mere technical functionality. So basically, autonomous robots can have a type of autonomy that goes beyond the technical, and humans can have a types of autonomy, like if you're serving in a restaurant, that you're not fully exercising your Kantian autonomy, that you're actually kind of following social and even kind of technical programs. So human waiters have to follow a restaurant's service protocols, just as robots are configured and maintained to operate in socially acceptable ways. So while restaurant robots have been in prospect for a long time, it's only recently that they've approached social, technical, and commercial viability. So, for example, the humanoid imagination has really dominated earlier conceptions of what a restaurant robot should be. So they featured a face, a body, hands, holding one or more trays. It was as though an autonomous robot lacking the humanoid form would somehow be monstrous. The autonomous waiter or waitress should be a social actor, a technological marvel, and an efficient worker at the same time. So, for example, in the mid-2010s, this is what we saw in a zany teenage sitcom, Sam and Cat, about what a restaurant robot might look like.
Hello, I bring your food. Yes, take your food from my tray. Is there anything else I can get you?
Can I please have some ketchup?
I don't understand your question.
Sorry. I just want some ketchup.
Searching the web. There are 3 pet shops near you.
No, I don't want a pet shop. I just want some ketchup.
Enjoy your meal.
Well, that was frustrating.
So in sort of showing a robot being so inept, it was kind of affirming the legitimacy or the superiority of human action. But it also tells you that there wasn't really everyday experience with robots in restaurants. There is a restaurant robot that's been around this is in Bangkok. It shows this enormous samurai-style robot built in Japan and cost $1 million to set this up in 2010. And the robots make the restaurant like an autonomous amusement park for the food, reconfiguring service so customers can order on a tablet and eat, all without visible human agency. In contrast with the large Hajime restaurant, this concept restaurant from 2016 in Kunsan features smaller female-presenting humanoids in a more servile role. In the mid-2010s, several robot companies abandoned the humanoid form and produced reimagined restaurant robots with a stripped-back kind of technical style. A form follows function, open-frame vehicle bodies called the Poodoo-bot, the Dinobot, the Servi, and so on. And they were marketed for their carrying capacity, navigation, battery life, safety, and reliability. But anthropomorphic expression wasn't entirely lost. You can see in the Poodoo-bot and the Dinobot, there's still a kind of rudimentary pair of eyes and a mouth in the Poodoo-bot. But in 2020, Poodoo Robotics reframed the design problem with the launch of the premium Bellabot model. You can see that it's got cat's ears and a kind of Hello Kitty cat's face. And this is what we call pre-domestication, how you pre-domesticate a cat robot. Design and promotion work in advance to make a robot seem natural, desirable, and even cute. And the solution's not just technical, it's cultural and aesthetic, setting the stage for the robot to be accepted. It suits the rhythms and style of restaurant life. It responds to voice, its ears react to touch, its facial expressions change as though it's got moods. Bellabot can help wait staff or replace them. It can greet customers, deliver dishes, and even sing happy birthday. And there are